have good skin for once. I don't know. Hey guys, it's Sharon. Gotten so many requests for this video, and I was like, I gotta do this for my girls, especially because that is just girl code. And basically what this is if you couldn't tell by the title, I'm gonna give you 20 signs that your period is coming, because I know a lot of us might be new to having a period, might not be used to having a period, or haven't even gotten our periods. And I will tell you now, as a 21-year-old woman, I don't think I'll ever get used to my period, but I can learn how to deal with her, barely. Anyways, if you guys do want to see more videos like this, give us a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. I have a bunch more period related videos on my channel, including period questions you might be too afraid to ask your mom, period hacks for school, and of course, my period horror stories. If you do want to be in my videos and tell me what videos you want to see, make sure to follow my Instagram and my Twitter so you can be in them and vote for them. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, definitely subscribe for more. But enough about that. I know that the girl struggle bus is real and is full, so hopefully these can help tell you when your time of the month is coming, other than of course like a period tracking app, which honestly, like, those save lives. But anyways, let's get into some other signs. This is the most obvious one for me, and that is breakouts. When you start getting more acne and you're noticing zits, pimples, you're breaking out, that means that your hormones are starting to act up and someone is coming to visit real soon. I know that some hot spots for hormonal acne are like your jawline, your chin, and your neck. So if you start noticing some breakouts after your skin was looking flawless and fine, that could be why. Will I ever have good skin for once? I don't know. Stay hydrated, y'all. This is probably my favorite sign of my period coming, and that is when your boobs start changing sizes. You heard me right. Your boobs could look a little bit bigger, they could feel more tender, they can feel more soft, they can even feel very sensitive. Sometimes I'll experience boob pain and I'm like, this is the end. But then in reality, I'm like, no, this is just my monthly time. I know when my period is coming or when I'm on my period, this might not be my favorite and this might not look good, but this looks amazing. So I gotta say this is probably the only beneficial sign of when your period is coming. But alas, we continue. You're experiencing fatigueness. Fatigueness? Did I say it right? You're just feeling fatigue, which basically is you're tired and you want to sleep, but you can't sleep. If you're having a bunch of restless nights where you just cannot pass out to save your life, it could be a sign that your period is coming. You could also start feeling a little bit more clumsy, a little bit out of it. You can become a little bit more forgetful. It's so crazy how like you just experience this out of body feeling, and it could just be because of your period. Insane. Now, the number one most common sign we all know and we all love to hate: cramps. The second you feel that little knife stab in your uterus, say less, sis, just bring it. I know what's coming. There are ways to help with cramps though, and believe it or not, exercising is one of them. Hot lemon with water is another way. You know, avoiding salty foods and fried foods and caffeine. So there is a way to deal with cramps, but definitely if you start getting cramps, sis, one of the biggest signs possible that Aunt Flo is getting ready to check in. This is kind of funny to me because they're complete polar opposites, but they're definitely a thing. It is if you're either constipated or if you're having diarrhea. So you either can't poop or you can't stop pooping. And I have discussed this in my Girl Talks video where I answered period questions you're too afraid to ask your mom. Period poops are a thing. There is an actual science behind it. So whether you're pooping too much or you can't poop, probably a sign that your period's about to come. Kind of piggybacking off of that, if you start to feel bloated or gassy, I hate feeling bloated. That is probably one of like most hated things in the freaking world. If you don't know what bloated is, it is basically when you start feeling like you're blown up. You feel like a balloon. There are ways to help with bloating too. Again, hot lemon and water. Also avoiding those foods I mentioned, fried, unhealthy, caffeine. Those can help you avoid being bloated as well. So if you start feeling that, you start feeling a little bit funky down there, like something's not mixing well, it really could just be your period. This one I feel is a little bit simple and can be so many other things, but headaches. Sometimes I do get headaches right before I start getting my period, and I do get headaches on my period every now and then, but I feel like headaches are so common and can have so many other things that cause it as well. So it could be a sign of your period, or it could be a sign of you being dehydrated, for example. Now, one thing I do want to highlight, and I feel like I highlight it in all like my period talk videos, it is every body is different. So as you're watching this and like listening to all these period signs, understand that your body might not show all of these signs and you might not experience all of these signs. That is because your body is different from my body and our bodies are different from the next person. Maybe period headaches are your thing, maybe they're not. I think we all know this sign a little too well, and it is probably the most stereotypical sign of all, and that is mood swings. If you're feeling very agitated and very irritated for some reason, it's probably not that you're a horrible person, but probably that your hormones are just acting up and you're experiencing a mood swing because your period is about to come for a visit. I know the second even just someone breathing next to me pisses me off, that it's not me, it's my uterus. So always remember that. It's not you, sis, it's your uterus. Is that our new motto? It might be. Along with mood swings, you might start to feel depressed. You might start feeling really sad. You might feel anxious. You just feel really intense. And when you can't pinpoint why, like you can't find the cause of why you're feeling this way, maybe you're not actually sad about anything and you're wondering, why am I feeling sad? It really could just be your body preparing to go through your period. I have experienced this one and I'll tell you, it sucks. That is lower back pain. I'm sure there is a science behind it. I personally have research into it because I do have scoliosis and issues with my back in general, but I know that when my period is coming or when I'm on my period, I get major lower back pain. I'm assuming it's because your uterus is also in the lower part of your torso and that's where your lower back is. I'm just saying, when I experience this, I do want to rip out my spine. So another sign is if you are experiencing changes in appetite. I personally do not eat that often to begin with. I'll have lunch and then I'll have like a light snack before dinner. If I'm on my period, I will eat at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 3 a.m. I'll want to eat all the freaking time and I cannot stop eating. So I know when I can't stop putting things into my mouth and eating everything in my fridge, she's coming. Along with changes in appetite, you might also experience cravings. The second you start wanting some really weird thing that you haven't even thought of and it just came out of nowhere and you're really just craving it, that could definitely be the hormone, sis. I remember not too long ago, I was really craving pickles. The second I woke up with that thought in my head, I was like, okay, I'm getting my period. Literally 3 days later, I got my periods. It's just because I was craving pickles, dude. You could also experience sensitivity to light or sounds. Like, you know how I said you might get irritated or agitated easily? That can also happen not just from people, but also from lights and sounds. I'm the type of person that loves to blast music. Like, if you hear a loud and obnoxious car pulling up, it is probably me. And I know when I have to turn it down because it's bothering me a bit, something's not right. And it's usually time of the month. This one I feel like is a little bit like headaches where it could have other causes, but if you are finding it difficult to concentrate. Now, obviously anything can make it difficult to concentrate. Like maybe you're going through something at home and you're finding it hard to concentrate on other things. Or maybe there's nothing really going on and you're just finding it hard to concentrate in general and you're like, why? It could be a sign that your period is coming. And this is one of those things that, again, everybody is different. It just depends on how your body is. I hate this one because it is true and I hate living up to the stereotype, but when you start craving sugar, I am not really that much of like a dessert person or sweets person, but guys, whenever I start craving chocolate, I know it's coming. I'm not that big of a chocolate person. Like I'll choose like strawberry before chocolate, but the second I start craving chocolate, I know she's coming and suddenly I want to go pig out at like a freaking candy factory and I want all the sweets in my fridge. I'm like, okay, I need something sweet. Please give me something sweet. And then my body is like, please stop with all the sweet things. They're going straight to your thighs and they do not like this, but my taste buds do. It's a struggle. Another sign is when exercise becomes a lot harder, which is really ironic because exercising is also really good for helping with cramps because they get your blood flowing and the endorphins that you're producing cancel out your cramp producing chemicals. There's the good and there's the bad and they kind of balance each other out. Just from personal experience, I started this like workout program, right? After 4 weeks, I finally built up my body to be able to handle this program. Y'all, the 1 week I got my period, I couldn't do anything. I just felt so freaking weak. So this is definitely a real friggin' thing. Now this one kind of is a result from the craving sugar and the change in appetite and the cravings, and it's obvious that it is putting on weight. I think it's just a common thing amongst all girls to kind of fluctuate between the same 5 pounds. Like me, I've always lost the same 5, I've always gained the same 5, and I've noticed it's usually around the time I get my period because I'm pigging out and having these weird cravings, and that is completely normal. So don't freak out if you start noticing that you're weighing a little bit more. It's just the period and everything will be fine. If you start to experience muscle pain or joint pains, that could also be a sign that your period is coming. I personally don't experience this, but I do experience lower back pain, so I'm not surprised this is also another sign of it. And especially because exercising can be harder too. Like your body is just a lot weaker when it's on your period. That's also kind of normal. It makes sense, sis. This one is obvious, but I do want to emphasize how much of a real freaking thing it is. If you are feeling more emotional, I 110% live up to this stereotype. I could be watching a puppy on Facebook, and on a normal day, I'd be like, love, and share with someone else. When my period is coming, suddenly suddenly I'm crying. Like things I usually don't get triggered over, I start crying, and that's when I know. So if you ever just feel this random urge to cry, or you feel very intense and very emotional, it could be your hormones. Don't be alarmed. Now, believe it or not, the last sign that your period could be coming is if you experience a high sex drive, which is really ironic because some of you might be thinking, ugh, getting dirty while having my period? Now that sounds dirty, but y'all, it's those hormones. They will get you, and they will get you good. But anyways, I hope this video helped you guys out. I know it is so tough being a girl, but you are tougher than your period, and that is all that matters, sis. Now, if you guys do want to see more videos like this, definitely give us a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. I also want you to comment down a sign that you know when your period is coming. I do think it is so important to understand our body and know our body, because your period isn't your enemy. It's a part of you, it's a part of life. It is something you have to learn to live with. So it is very important for us to know how to deal with having our period and make it a lot easier for when it does happen. That being said, if you guys do want to see more videos about periods, I have a bunch more on my channel. I have period questions you're too afraid to ask your mom, period life hacks for school, I have period horror stories, and honestly a bunch more period videos coming out because someone needs to talk about this, and I wish there was someone I could have talked to when I was having my first period, so I will gladly be your older sister. Piggybacking off of that, if you have someone in your life that can benefit from this video and they can learn some stuff and get to understand their body and know how their period works, do not be afraid to share this with them. Now, shout out of the week goes to Rachel. Thank you so much. If you guys do want to be shout out of the week, just follow me on my Instagram and stay active. And of course, if you want to see more videos, definitely subscribe for more. But all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.